Hello, everybody. Welcome to another Facebook Live. Today, basically, I really want to dive into a topic that I have been consistently observing, which is the phenomenon of struggling with conversations with native English speakers. So we've all been there before, right? We've all experienced those moments when conversations flow effortlessly, talking to native English speakers. It just seems like that the conversations flow very, very effortlessly. And other times when we stumble and then find it challenging to express ourselves or to keep up with the conversation. So how can we maintain a more consistent flow? Has anyone experienced this before? If that's you, feel free to type yes in the chat, in the comments below. Remember, this is a judgment-free zone, and I would love to hear how this resonates with you. So back to the question, how can we maintain a more consistent flow when we speak with native English speakers in any kinds of spoken interactions in professional and social settings? So this is what I wanted to share with you today. Now, first of all, it is crucial for us to take a moment and then check in with ourselves what factors contribute to this lack of consistency. So we're just going to pause for a moment and then for you to reflect on this question, and feel free to share this in the comments below as well. What factors contribute to this lack of consistency? Okay, one of the major contributors is that a lot of us, we don't have that consistent belief in ourselves. So that's one of the major contributors if you think about it, which is our inconsistent belief in ourselves, right? Do we truly believe in our own abilities, regardless of the outcome of the conversation? Do we always have this unwavering belief, trust, and acceptance in ourselves? So that's a very important question you definitely want to ask yourself first. Because you see, it really all begins with our self-image, our self-acceptance, our self-trust. When we have a deep sense of self-belief, we can reframe any situation in a way that empowers us rather than hinders us. So it's so important for us to ask ourselves this question first. Do we truly feel that unwavering belief in ourselves? Do we feel these things to be true? So you really want to ask yourself that question first. It is very important to recognize that while we may understand, like these certain concepts intellectually, for example, we hear this all the time. And then I talk about this all the time as well. Like we hear things like, okay, native English speakers are human beings as well. So don't overthink. Don't worry about your grammatical mistakes. Your English is good enough, right? Like we hear this kind of reminders, positive affirmations all the time, but do we believe them to be true? Because true transformation happens when we can actually feel these statements to be true in our core about ourselves. It's not just pretty words, right? If today you don't believe them to be true about yourself, then it really just becomes a bunch of empty words. Right? It's really about embodying these beliefs and then making them a part of who we are. So is this resonating with you so far? If that's the case, type yes in the comments. So I know this is resonating with you so far. And sometimes the simplest advice can be the most challenging to implement. So for example, people often say, just be yourself when talking to native English speakers. But how? It's easier said than done, right? Because fear tends to get in the way. Our fear of judgment, the fear of looking silly, the fear of not being good enough, right? So in order to tackle this issue, to really make real progress, there needs to be action taken. And I'm not talking about any kind of action, like courageous action that will actually move you forward. Courageous action taken so you can prove to yourself that your English is good enough, that connecting with native English speakers doesn't have to be intimidating, that talking confidently in English interviews is possible. But you have to literally put yourself in these uncomfortable situations and see and experience for yourself that you can actually do it, right? And then you can actually work through these uncomfortable situations You have to experience for yourself and then for your brain to believe all these positive statements thrown your way. So the more courageous action you take, the more you're going to believe it and the more it becomes your new reality and your new identity. Okay, so next time you encounter inconsistency in your conversations with native English speakers, take a moment to reflect on your self-belief. Start by asking yourself this question first. Am I consistent in my self-belief? Now, that will serve as an excellent starting point for you. From there, you want to shift your focus to what you can control rather than what's beyond your control. Remember, you have the power to manage how you feel, how you present yourself, how you carry yourself, and how you respond to others. So you want to direct your attention towards what you can control. And that's how you can start maintaining a consistent sense of self-belief, self-love, self-trust, and self-acceptance as a non-native English speaker. So you definitely want to keep working on this area until you feel these statements to be true deep within your core. Remember, you can't just understand those words. You can't just understand those concepts intellectually. So thank you very much for joining me today. Feel free to share your thoughts and experiences in the comments. And if you are watching the replay afterwards, if this resonates with you, if you are getting something out of today's Facebook Live, please give it a like so I know that you get something out of it and I know that you like it. And I'll be sure to talk about topics like this more often. Yeah, so I'm definitely here to support you on your journey, and let's just keep growing together and embracing conversations or any spoken interactions with confidence. So you take care. Thank you for tuning in today, and I'll see you again soon. Bye.